right now at 11. The show must go on.
You know, here at Darcel 15, we don't mourn, we celebrate.
Celebrating the life of a Portland icon on the very stage she made famous. Also tonight, forecasting flurries and flakes, why the first weekend of spring might leave a lot of folks feeling flustered. Plus,
it makes me feel like I'm not in a police state anymore.
Fortress no more. What the disappearance of one unsightly downtown fence could mean for the Rose City's future. Good evening, and here we go again, just in time for the weekend. Those chilly nights are back. Here's a look at what fell and stuck in the Coast Range and also in Portland's West Hills around the 800-foot mark in a day that saw snow, hail, and gusty winds. And guess what? There is more where that all came from. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino. Matt, we have officially made it to spring break, but just like that, winter is back.
Yeah, that's right, man. It hit us pretty hard this morning, although in a good way because it really didn't impact a lot of people. There was snow in the West Hills. There was snow down to about 500 feet, but the roads were generally okay. Right now, we've got 38 degrees, so we're already down in the 30s right now. There was a hail shower that went through parts of Portland a little bit ago, dropped about 1/4 inch of hail, so that happened. Now, the favored type of precipitation will be snow as we go into the morning hours. Yet, like this morning, it'll come in showers and it won't really stick long enough to cause any problems. Now, it may stick on the grassy surfaces, your deck, that kind of a thing, but the roads will melt out, and any accumulations that happen, even up in the hills, will also melt quickly. Now, you can see we're getting a break right now, but there's another line of showers rolling out of the coast as we speak, and there'll be more that come on shore during the overnight hours and in the early morning hours. The good thing is tomorrow, of course, is Saturday, so things won't be quite as busy as they normally are. So we'll time these showers out for you and take a look ahead at the rest of spring break in just a bit. David, back to you.
Thank you, Matt. Well, we're taking on a tough topic this Friday after the bodies of a Vancouver mother and her 7-year-old daughter missing for 10 days were found this week. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm David Molko. There have been no arrests, but police are calling Michelle Melendez's boyfriend a person of interest in their disappearance, and court documents point to a history of alleged domestic violence. Let's bring in Alma McCarty now in the newsroom. Alma, you talked to an expert about this case and also about how folks can support loved ones who also might be suffering.
David, Melendez's boyfriend, Kirkland Warren, was arrested earlier this month, accused of assaulting Michelle, harassing her, and shooting up her apartment in December. He's also charged with violating a no-contact order. Court documents had him listed as an extreme risk to her, yet he was able to bail out.
The trouble is when we have a legal system with district attorneys and judges, they are horribly undertrained in domestic violence. They know laws, but they don't know a perpetrator, they don't know the characteristics of a perpetrator, and they don't know what they do to a victim.
Dr. Kathy Mathis is a doctor of clinical psychology and a national domestic violence expert with 37 years in the field. After the disappearance and death of 27-year-old Michelle Melendez and her young daughter, Layla, she looked into the background of Michelle's boyfriend, Kirkland Warren. At this point, he's only considered a person of interest in their disappearance.
You have judges that let him out, should never have let him out. You have a district attorney who gave him bail. Why would you give somebody bail who has this kind of a history?
KGW reached out to Clark County officials to find out why GPS monitoring wasn't requested for Warren, given the alleged criminal history of domestic abuse. The prosecuting attorney's office responded with no comment, citing an open investigation.
You have a perpetrator who has shown you who they are, believe them, because they're not going to change.
Dr. Mathis explained it can take many tries for people caught in cycles of domestic abuse to leave a partner. Seeking out help from a resource center or shelter is also difficult to do.
And there are services there. I mean, they get food, they get clothing, they get opportunities for healing and for, rebuilding their life. But a lot of them say, this is my home. I'm here, I don't want to leave it because I've done nothing wrong. And that really is part of the reason, along with the bonding, that people stay in the relationships. And then you add the threats to, I'll kill you if you leave.
For concerned family and friends, she recommends looking out for signs of controlling or verbally abusive behavior and isolation. For those in a potentially dangerous situation, Dr. Mathis offers this advice.
Get out, get to safety, get help, and make that person that's lying to you prove they've changed. It's not what they say that you listen to, it's what they do.
On Sunday, there will be a community vigil at 11 a.m. in Esther Short Park to honor the lives of Mishay and Layla. Again, Warren still remains a person of interest in this case. He has not been formally charged. He is facing an unrelated murder charge for a 2018 case out of Arkansas. David?
Thank you, Alma. Appreciate this follow-up tonight. If you or someone you know might be a victim of domestic violence, know that you are not alone. There is a 24/7 national crisis hotline to help connect people to resources and to provide emotional support. You can call or text the number on your screen anytime. It is 800-799-7233. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, a woman who shoplifted at Washington Square Mall has been sentenced to nearly 6 years in prison for biting a security guard. 31-year-old Ashley Clark pleaded guilty today to both assault and robbery. Now, last June, Clark stole more than $800 worth of merchandise from the Nordstrom store at the mall. When the guard tried to stop her, she bit off part of the guard's earlobe. Clark also had 2 outstanding warrants at the time of her arrest. Authorities are asking for help finding a missing Portland teenager. 16-year-old Jerica Landon disappeared from foster care on March 7th, and police believe she could be in danger. They say she might be in the Rose City, but could have traveled north to Kirkland or Seattle or even south to Northern California. Landon is 5'5", reddish-brown hair, and a tattoo of a heart on her neck. If you see Landon or know anything about her, call 911. And an Oregon bill meant to funnel millions of dollars into chip technology is moving forward in Salem. Today, the Joint Committee on Ways and Means advanced the CHIPS bill to the full Senate. It would commit over $200 million in state funds to support semiconductor manufacturing. Its sponsors say adding just one plant in the state would create 26,000 new jobs. And speaking of the economy, let's talk about downtown Portland, where something that's been there for nearly 3 years is finally coming down. We're talking about those unsightly walls around the Apple store, which turned a corner of the city amidst protests, civil unrest, and $18 million of property damage, the FBI says, into kind of what felt like a fortress. Remember those pictures? Okay, let's show you what it looks like now with a new outer layer of windows that appear to be more damage resistant. The Oregonian reporting last May that Apple was proposing a lattice work of polycarbonate panels, and it looks like they've kind of gone through with the upgrade there, while other buildings like the county and federal courthouses are still barricaded from the streets. Some people told us they see this Apple's move as a symbolic sign of hope.
It makes me feel like I'm not in a police state anymore. And that, you know, they expect people to behave like they should.
No, this is great news. I think it's the symbol of where we are as a downtown right now, that the pandemic's behind us, our challenges are behind us, and we're starting to see that wide-scale reopenings that we've been talking about.
One step at a time, we reached out to Apple to try to get a sense of why they decided the time was right now, though we haven't yet heard back.